What's going on, people? So, picked up a pair of shoes. Like actually this was my first shoe purchase of the year, right? These things right here. So, if you can't see that, there's a little picture to help you. But either way, I'm gonna give these a real quick talking about, right? Something of a review, kind of, sort of, mostly not, I don't think. Because honestly, like, they're pretty old at this point. I don't think there's a whole lot really worth talking about after seeing them. Mostly like the things that I feel like are important will be in like the personal thoughts or the sizing portion, something like that. More so like the latter than the former. So I'll hit some highlights as far as like what's different about them, but otherwise it's not gonna be a whole lot. So either way, this right here, this is the Adidas Ultraboost Light in the Better Scarlet colorway. I saw that name somewhere and I was like, is that just like a code name that people have given these? No, it's actually a color name, right? Weird. So anyways, down there across the bottom, right? What you're looking at down there is one dirty outsole. I tell you what, it just looks like that to me. It just looks kind of nasty the way that they have the plastic under there. And I say that because it looks very similar to this pair over here, right? So yeah, and this pair has been worn quite a bit. So anyways, moving on past that, right? Up here, midsole. You got the same sort of thing you might have expected from the Ultraboost 22, just with a little bit of a difference as far as like the textures, and of course you don't have all those speckles on most of the 22s either. So otherwise they're largely similar, but the differences I'll kind of cover a little bit later. So let's go ahead. I'll give you some other pictures, right? Because at this point in the video I often slip in these two other pictures, kind of a top-down sort of view or something like that, I believe. It kind of gives people another look at these things, a little more stationary than me moving these around so much. Helps kind of get your mind into where you might be going with these as far as how you feel about them. So otherwise, right, let's go ahead and get those differences in here real quick. So we'll start with the bottom, like I was saying, right, because I want to bring this up. Down there on the bottom, they do look somewhat similar at first, right? But then like the longer you look at it, you see more of the differences, especially like if you catch it from like the back angle or whatever. That part is quite different as well. I'm not going to get into all the details because I tried to look them up briefly before this. The Adidas site didn't have a whole lot to go by. So, and also again, it doesn't much matter. The stitching patterns down there on like the toe box and stuff, right? When you look at that, you can kind of tell it's a little bit different. I will tell you right now, on the lights, it's a lot thinner overall, right? Still going to be a sock-like feel and all that good stuff. It just is thinner, right? Lighter, if you will, too. So, along with that, one of the areas where you'll notice it the most is going to be in this piece, like right where the tongue area would be, like this whole piece on your upper foot there. So much thinner. Like on here, it's not like a night and day difference by look, but it kind of is by feel, actually. So there is that. Otherwise, catching from the side, right? They're mostly going to be looking very much the same. So the silhouette, if you didn't like it before, you're still going to not like it, right? So don't think like, oh, well, if I didn't like the 22, should I consider trying to get into these? No, don't worry about it. There's a lot of running shoes out there. Pick something different. Up here, though, one thing I didn't mention, on the top of the tongue, on the 22s and I think even the 21s and stuff, you have this like patch thing up here, which is super annoying. I was running in a pair of these couple days ago, yesterday actually, yeah, yesterday, and I forgot how annoying that feeling is. Like down there, it's almost like those VaporMax 21s that had like the box on them where like you could like click it to like tighten the shoes or something. Terrible design for functionality reasons, and this was also very annoying. I kind of forgot about that. This doesn't have that, so it should be a lot better as far as running or even just walking in them. Since they are a running shoe, you might think like, why did they even put that there? I don't know. I'm not Adidas. So anyways, past that, quick look on the inside, not a whole lot going on. It just says Ultraboost and whatever. Otherwise, very much similar build to what you've seen before, right? So that being that, I'm going to hit you with some personal thoughts. Personally, I am not a huge fan of this particular colorway, right? I like red. This is a fine red, kind of, right? But I think maybe, I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's a lot of it, you know? It's just a lot of it. And red is an easy color to have too much of. And this is kind of like right there on the cusp of that. And also compared to like all the other colors that they had, this was definitely not one of the better ones, not at all. However, it was the cheapest one, and that is why we're here, right? $76, people. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that all day, right? Well, at least the one time. And then the speckles on the side, I mean, it's a cool idea. I just don't care for, like, again, the color choicing here, right? But that could be largely attributed to just the upper, because again, there's a whole lot of red going on there. So it's not a big deal, right? I've seen plenty of these that look really cool. And so buying another pair of those, I feel like I'd be talking about these significantly more positively, right? But it is what it is. What's done is done. Will I get another pair? It's possible. Nowadays I have so many shoes that it's like getting multiples of the same model. I'm not super into it, so we'll see. If I do, these will probably have to go away to my brother. Luckily, he wears the same size. I don't know if that's lucky for me or lucky for him, but it's lucky for one of us. Maybe both of us. Who knows? Either way, personally, yeah, they're fine. I'm not going to talk down on them too much. Just it's one of the lower end colorways in my eyes. But past that, I think we should kind of get into like the sizing and stuff, because a lot of people might be wondering, well, I see a pair that I like. What size should I get? Well, I'm going to say what I can say that might help you. It might also not help you. So let me know how that plays out for you down in the comments or something. But regardless, let me give it a shot and we'll see what happens from here. Sizing wise, I bought these in a 9.5. And the reason I do that is because I buy pretty much all my shoes in a 9.5, because when my foot was measured in that little metal thing at the stores, you know, that's what it said my foot is. And it's been working out on pretty much everything, you know what I'm saying? And given that I'm no new user, runner, whatever with the Ultraboost models, I kind of knew what I was getting into. And this gives me exactly what I expected to get, right? So if you have any 21s or 22s, they have a similar build to these. So I'd say go with that same size. Or any of your other running shoes. Like I've got Adidas, Asics, some Nikes, right? And for me, true to size has been good on all four, or all however many models I just named. So there is that. Now, as far as like the specifics, right? Like I said before, this is a thinner knit, so it feels so much lighter on your foot, like on the upper piece. And that part I said, like right there under where the laces are, like what could be the tongue type area, that whole section feels so much better on these. It felt like a little too padded on like the 22s, not in a bad way like when I originally had them, but when you have something like this, then you notice, oh yeah, this is an improvement. And then even just standard walking around in these, just because that's all I've done so far. I just got these like Saturday and it's like Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? So even walking around in these, they just feel more natural. It's like more of a fluid movement from like one step to the next. The way they've done this back end on the bottom outsole and stuff, it just feels so much better. And overall, yeah, they are lighter as you might think, because I mean that's in the name, right? So this is like a really good upgrade. Sometimes they do new models of things and it's just like not always an upgrade, but this, they took a couple things that I didn't really think much of and tweaked them, so I'm on board with it. Again, the only gripe I might have, kind of sort of, is just the color selection. Well, the color I selected. The color selection overall is pretty decent, honestly. They got so many of them, which was another thing I didn't like about the past ones. So yeah, so there you go. Quick little comparison with the lights, also kind of like the Ultraboost 23 and the 22 over here. This was my first Ultraboost 22, and I don't like it so much more than the other one because it's like a bright neon green sort of color, and I really like that. But when it comes time to take the pictures and stuff, it'll be easier to work with this one because like the bright colors can get like make the camera be all weird sometimes. But I do have a new phone now, so maybe that wouldn't have been a problem. I'll just never know, I suppose. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, wherever you are. I think I'm done for the day, right? Yeah, I don't want to do any more stuff today, so I'm gonna say I'm done for the day. Later, people.